derby. And if you did, tell me what you thought.
I'd like to. I want to go to a roller derby match. We have a friend who has kind of been in that for a while and never went. I'd like to go see some girls whoop up on each other.
It's pretty intense. Like the rules are very complicated in the scoring and like how many times they have to pass you or whatever. And that's pretty tough to explain, but the action is intense.
Yeah.
And I tell you what, these girls are tough. Like they're skating around in a circle on cement.
Good Lord.
And it's basically like they're playing in a parking lot.
God.
And they have knee
They get
pads,
all
elbow
roughed up.
pads, the helmets, but no chin pads. And they're beating the crap out of each other, really.
Fun.
Yeah, it's
Sounds
really
like
fun. They had some really awesome girls out there. Some of the names that kind of stick in my mind were they had a dragon that was like this big old girl that nobody could get by, and she would block everybody.
What was her name? The dragon?
The dragon, yeah.
Okay.
They had one called the Panty Dropper.
Does she go behind people and go,
Yeah, well, I mean, I think that might be what she does, like
in her own time?
and which they had another one called Pussy Patrol, actually, as well.
Oh.
I mean, maybe like picking up felines in the neighborhood.
Right, yeah, that's what it is.
Cats.
Yeah, kitty cats.
So yeah, we had roller derby, Summerfest. Anything else?
Just busy week last week.
Yeah, Russell Cormier reggae.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah.
Y'all haven't ever
good.
seen Russell Cormier and Homegrown Reggae?
Or eating some Reggie's Soul
Check 'em out.
Food. Yeah,
Or Reggie's
go
Soul
check it
Food.
out.
Fantastic.
Off the chain.
Fantastic.
So, what do we got going on here? Should we talk about our president or not my president? Whichever one you prefer.
Yeah, so I heard on the news today or on the radio that the Trump administration is supposedly investigating discrimination against white students going into college, like college discrimination. So basically, not letting enough white people in or choosing a minority over a white student based upon race.
That's
Doesn't that go along with affirmative action? I mean,
well, I mean, you would hope that it would be equal, definitely. And are whites necessarily being discriminated against by admissions in colleges? I don't know. Because I guess
are
like
they trying to meet whatever quota is set by the state for certain, ethnicities
Sure.
of students?
Right, but does that discriminate against white people? Some might argue that, I guess. But I think it's just a matter of, really it's been the whites that are in college, and now there's more programs, I suppose, to help minorities to get into college, and there's not as many of those programs to help out, white people per se.
Right, and apparently there's like a point system that most colleges have in place where academics score a certain point, extracurricular activities score certain points, but then they also have point systems for what ethnicity you are, and also if you come from a single parent household, if you come from a low income household, all of those issues, which I think that is not, I mean, that's across the board. You've got all colors of people who have single parent homes or low
Surely.
income. So, I mean, I don't think that this is I don't think it is what they're saying it is,
Right.
or even, I mean, I don't know. It's definitely not something worth our government investigating when we have so many other issues on hand,
Well, I would definitely agree with that. And Shahi, would you like to chime in on that issue? We were just saying that Trump wants to investigate that there's white discrimination in colleges as far as admissions. It's an article that Holly
It's
looked
laughable,
up.
huh?
Yeah, it's laughable, right? Yeah. So, we'll just keep on talking on our television show with our privilege, I guess.
Yeah, I guess so, huh?
Sorry. Anyways, how about, speaking of discrimination, Trump also wants to ban transgender people from the military.
Wow. Okay. How can he? That's discrimination. How can you do that?
Yeah, well, I guess
And for what purpose?
they're saying that it's due to the medical costs that they spend somewhere from 2.4 to 8.4 million dollars, and I guess it's maybe closer to the 8.4 million
On
dollars.
transgender people?
Right, and I guess they argue that a lot of people
What?
are transgender people are taking advantage of the system, and they spend like 2 years during their transition there, and they're basically just going to join the military to get a free surgery
Free
and
sex change?
Yeah, free sex change.
Oh, okay.
And some of the
So the government pays for your sex change if you are
if you're in the military, yeah.
Wow, okay.
And a lot of the, I guess, generals or whatever say that it lowers morale among some of the soldiers.
Knowing that there are transgendered people in the military, or knowing that they are getting some sort of
Well,
preferential treatment, or
yeah,
this?
preferential
It's an
treatment.
elective surgery, right? I mean, having
Sure.
a sex change is an elective surgery, and most insurances do not cover elective surgeries. So why should the taxpayers have to pay for that?
Oh,
You
yeah.
know, you're serving our country, okay, but going in for 2 years doing boot camp, going and hanging out on a base, and then you're
Yeah.
getting a free sex change.
Well, if that's the case, and I mean, like, I could definitely see both sides on this issue. In that, if you can pass the basic training test, then yeah, you can join the military.
Sure.
But
and the
it's
psychological
ultimately going to
exam.
go down to back to the don't ask, don't tell.
Okay.
And most of the cases that I saw, at least on the news stories on television, had the female to male transgenders that were in the military.
Okay.
And
So there's more of that going on.
more of that, it appears, at least on news stories.
Okay.
But needless to say, Trump started that with a tweet, and this is the first president we've really
Good
ever
Lord.
had that is the tweeting president. And
And it's
can
just so
somebody
awful.
get this effing
Oh my
guy off of
God.
Twitter, please?
So many grammatical mistakes. Don't even get me
Ugh.
started. And it's just, it's
bad,
nonsense.
Shaggy.
And he's so reactive to everything, and it just, it looks bad. He acts like a child whenever anybody says anything bad. And then, of course, we have the whole Covfefe thing that went
Covfefe?
around. Yeah. Because I think he wanted to type conference, but it came out Covfefe, and then people had
Okay.
crazy over
Yeah,
it.
I mean,
so,
like, of course he's getting scrutinized to the nth degree.
Absolutely.
Everything he does.
yeah.
They make up stuff when there's nothing. So, he's talking crap on his own attorney general, apparently, Jeff Sessions, who recused himself of Donald Trump, I guess. He also did that on Twitter. So, yeah, I guess he said that he was weak on Hillary on as far as her crimes.
So usually a president has a press secretary that kind of relays the general day-to-day briefings or goings-on of the White House, in the White House, right?
Yeah.
Isn't that their role? And so,
Well,
I
he
mean,
just
is it
recently, their press secretary
Yeah.
just quit as well. So
Yeah.
I think a lot
So-
of people are getting, tired of
But I mean, that's how it's always been in the past. And of course, we are in a new. I mean, Obama tweeted a few times, but it wasn't near to the extent and to the degree that Trump does.
Trump tweets, right.
But I mean, does that make him more accessible, or does it make him seem more?
I think it's all
personal
about
to
what you
people?
tweet, I mean, because
Yeah, 'cause you're gonna
Obama
push-
had, like, comedians probably typing up his
Right, 'cause it was funny.
tweets. And probably Donald Trump's not even sitting there typing it, and he's probably got somebody else typing it, and
You
it's all
think?
strategical.
I don't know. It just sounds like him. Like what
I
those
find
tweets sound like him.
there's no accidents in politics.
Well, yeah, that's true.
It's all
true.
pretty much it's political theater, folks. Let's see. The health care plan is still not accepted. And they're saying like 15 million people are going to lose their health care, maybe. Which isn't it a government mandate to have health care? So how can you lose
yeah.
your health
How
care?
can you lose it? Yeah.
But there's going to be a 20% cost increase, and that's really what it's all about. Is these insurance companies ripping us off a little bit more?
Yep. I already pay a crap ton. I don't want to pay anymore.
Yep.
But I'm gonna have to, I guess.
The insurance companies are going to take it an inch deeper and a little less lube.
Really gonna give it to us.
Yep. There you go. 3 inmates from jail videotaped their escape. And yeah, how about
videotaped their escape from jail.
that? Yeah.
So smuggled in a cell phone,
Smuggled the cell phone.
showed exactly how you can escape. So how did they escape? What was their...
It was very similar to Escape from Alcatraz. Like, they had like a little vent kind of on the side of the wall, and they kind of just dug it out and then went like through the back walls and everything up on the roof, then down on the ground, and then they were like videoing the whole thing, which is stupid though. They were caught in San Francisco after 8 days.
So they videoed it and like posted it on YouTube?
Pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah, that's not very smart. So what's the purpose behind that? What was
Just to
their
show
what
how
was their
easy it
purpose?
was, I guess,
Yeah.
or how they did it, or maybe they knew they'd be famous, I guess. So,
Yeah.
I'm not sure about that one.
Yeah.
What else you got?
Okay, so today news out that Michelle Carter, who apparently was convicted of involuntary manslaughter, she sent a bunch of text messages to her boyfriend, or I guess maybe ex-boyfriend, telling him to kill himself, basically commit suicide, really degrading him, and he did. It was like a 6-day period of text that she sent him, just really giving it to him, and he committed suicide, and she was arrested for it, charged with involuntary manslaughter, and now convicted to 15 months in jail for that. So is she responsible for his death?
Well, I mean,
Or partially?
I don't know. Like that's a fine line. Do words really kill people?
I mean, the old adage, "Sticks and stones may break my bones, but
The
words
words will
will never hurt me," is
they
completely
can
false.
hurt you,
I
yeah.
mean, that's, if anything, that hurts and scars a person more than
I think that sets a dangerous precedent, though, because I mean, like, what if you got
it
bullied
does set a
in
dangerous
in
precedent.
school, and like you're still depressed about it after you graduate, and then you want to blame it on the bully, and you write that in your suicide note, and then you can get charged with like somebody that wants to kill himself because they have psychological trauma from you.
Right. But I
It's
mean,
like,
people should be held accountable to a certain extent for any kind of abuse, right? Just because you can't physically see the repercussions of someone verbally abusing you just over and over and over doesn't mean you're not partially responsible for that, especially if, I think in this case, because it was such a short amount of time, it was only 6 days that she started sending him this stuff, and at the end of the 6 days, I mean, he killed himself. After this barrage of texts from her, I mean, that affects a person. Well, maybe my life is worthless. Maybe I'm, she is what she says I am, and I just need to let go.
well, I think she probably is going to get the charge of assisting a suicide, which is a crime.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's involuntary. Well, I saw involuntary manslaughter, but assisting a suicide. Okay. So that's like...
That's actually what she was convicted of, involuntary manslaughter.
Right, yeah.
But this guy actually had mentioned to her that he wanted to commit suicide.
Right.
She just was encouraging him.
Right. Because
So
suicide is a
he
trend.
started the conversation?
Yeah, and I actually did hear that too.
In the text, he was saying that he would commit, he wanted to kill himself. And she just was making statements, implying that she was encouraging. Well, if you want to kill yourself, just kill yourself. And then she went to giving him methods on how, in his life.
But when someone is reaching out and saying, I feel like killing myself, a lot of times people say that is a cry for help, So he was probably texting his girlfriend, hoping that she would say, oh no, baby, I love you, come here, so many people love you. But instead, and we all know we can't put across tone in text messages, unless you use an emoji. I don't think there's a suicide or kill yourself emoji. But he probably misinterpreted it. I don't know. But I mean, I don't know. So maybe it wasn't like her degrading his character. Maybe it was more like an encouragement. But still, who's going to encourage somebody?
Well, and folks, if you didn't hear that, because you're a little bit away from the mic, he was basically saying that, apparently the guy wanted to commit suicide, and she just kind of egged him on.
Yeah,
so.
or told him that he should if he wanted to.
Right.
So he started the conversation.
Yeah,
know.
it's a tough call, you know.
Yeah,
I
I don't
mean,
know.
how long have they sentenced her yet, or is she just being charged?
15 months.
15
But
months,
they
okay.
said that she's staying free until the appeals process is done, and apparently, like, they don't think she's gonna have to serve any prison time for it.
It will go to appellate court.
Yeah. So is involuntary manslaughter? I guess is that a
I mean,
felony?
Yeah, I would imagine
I would
so.
think so. So.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah, that's prison. That's some
Yeah.
prison. How about Facebook expanding their fight against fake news with automatic related articles? So after, I guess, like you read one type of article, it puts other types of articles out there for
That might
real
negate
news.
what you just read, or
I
like
don't know.
show the other side. Like how are they gonna fight
Well, it's
that
basically
crime?
going to be more mainstream media sources
Okay.
that are,
Like that's not fake news.
conglomerates of, major millionaires that own it.
Right. Yeah.
So
Hmm.
that would be the real
That's-
news.
yeah, that's
Believe
real
our
news, people.
news.
That's real news.
Yeah. How about? Did you ever watch Will and Grace?
Yeah, I did. My mom really liked that show. It was a good show.
Well,
I
they're
liked it.
bringing it back.
Really, they're doing that a lot lately. Fuller House. I think they brought back Gilmore Girls. Another show.
And I guess
too.
really a lot of these actors just like they're not working or
Right.
anything. It's like,
Yep.
man, I'm typecast after doing that show 10
Mhm.
years ago.
Might as well
Maybe
do the
I can
show
go
again.
do the show again.
I'd do it for money. I'd revisit that, and they have a built-in fan base.
Sure.
So-
Yeah, a lot of people will watch it.
Mhm.
How about Justin Bieber having to cancel his tour?
Good. I mean, why?
I think he got in a wreck, and like he's like injured, and he can't do all his little.
The Bieber's injured.
dance
Oh
moves.
no.
That was my Bieber impression of dance moves.
Well, actually, he ran over a photographer.
Ran over a photographer.
Yeah, paparazzi. He was like trying to.
Shahid correcting our information again. He ran over a photographer.
You need to come sit right here.
Yeah, right.
And he literally got out of the car to assist him. And next thing you know, the guy was on a stretcher, man, with 2 castles on his face.
Oh,
well, yeah.
So milking it, huh?
He's gonna get
He's
paid.
gonna get
Yeah,
paid.
he is.
Definitely.
Yeah, Bieber just ran over me. I'm about to not have to work another day in my life.
That's it right there. So, speaking of Bieber fever, how about football fever? Because it's about to get going, folks.
Yeah, that's right.
Football season.
When is it
started
starting?
like next week, pretty much.
With preseason games?
Preseason games in the NFL. They'll probably be having some college games, here pretty soon.
Always an exciting time
Yeah.
here in Louisiana.
Well, it's nonstop football, really, because, if you think about it, okay, you got high school football Friday night. College football Saturday.
Saturday.
You watch LSU, UL, whatever you watch.
NFL Sunday.
NFL Sunday with the
Monday.
Saints or Cowboys, whatever you watch. Then they got Monday night football. Then they have Thursday night
games sometimes.
football. So
Yep.
basically, the only day there's not football are Tuesday and Wednesday.
Right. Yeah. Well, people will be happy for
It's
a
a
little
lot
while.
of football. There's
Yeah,
a lot of football.
I know people like go crazy when there's no football around here. Like they're just counting the days for football. So I don't really care.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Well, I mean,
Sorry, Acadiana.
I used to care more. I used to, but it's still.
Yeah, it just I don't know it.
And we've got to go.
I'll do it.
Ooh, you want to press the
Hey,
button?
I pushed the button. Hello.
Yeah, your audio is down. We can't hardly hear you.
Oh, okay.
Eh.
Okay, we'll fix it. Thank you. Is that it?
Having some
Okay.
audio issues.
Sorry, y'all. We had a little bit of technical difficulties when we got in here. A show kind of went over time a little bit, and we had to rush. So apparently we're having some technical issues. Really, really sorry about that. We'll get it fixed as soon as we can.
I hate being Russian.
Yeah.
I want to
I'm
be
not
American,
Russian,
damn
I'm
it.
American. No audio. He said our audio is
Somebody
really
called
low.
in and said we don't have good audio, like they can't hear us well. So, Yeah, some TVs,
Huh.
maybe have us better than others.
Turn your volume up.
Yeah.
Put us on surround sound.
Can you hear me now?
All right. Well, okay.
Well, apparently here in the studio they say they can hear us good. So
If you can hear us good, call in so we know, please.
yeah, let us know. Let us know.
337-366-8950, extension 2, right?
Extension 2, indeed. Yes,
Got
very
it
good.
down.
Getting the hang of this.
Got it down.
All right. Any news? Any other news? You got some news?
Man, there was something I wanted to say whenever we were talking about the football things, and I
Oh,
forgot.
football.
But
Yeah,
yes,
that's when we
I
got the call.
do. So, okay, so apparently North Korea put out a statement today saying that the U.S. should expect more unexpected gift packages from North Korea. And obviously they're referring to more missile testing on their end. And they said to the American bastards. So look forward to those special gift packages. Yep.
Okay, so they're basically gonna start nuking us. I guess
Yeah,
that means.
the last missile apparently went up in space like 2,300 miles. So the U.S. government is saying that. Can you hear us?
Can you hear us now?
Can you hear us now?
Your audio is minus. We can't hear you. We cannot hear you. Somebody in the control room needs to increase the audio output. Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate that. What do we do with that?
I hear
I
it
guess we
out
just-
there.
I guess we just let it roll.
Somebody else maybe let us know. Call in. Tell us where you can
Somebody
hear us.
else who we know is watching. Just call in and let us know that you can hear
You.
us. That's it.
You.
That's it. All you got to do.
Call in.
Call in, hang up. It's done. Anyways.
Yeah, so we got football season.
Oh,
yeah.
oh. In
North
local
Korea.
news.
Gonna kill us.
Yeah, so let's not worry about that.
Okay.
Local news. So Joseph Ritchie, who was arrested in a vehicular homicide case back in April here in Lafayette. So anyway, the case back in April, he was driving really, really fast down Congress in the little center lane, you know, the turning lane.
Right, yeah.
Slammed in the back of somebody, killed the other guy. He was under the influence. So they arrested him. He's out on bail awaiting trial. Apparently was supposed to have a suspended license. Got arrested today, or I think yesterday maybe, DUI. Driving under the influence.
And
How
why
does
does the guy
how does
still
this-
have a license?
Yeah, he doesn't have a license. It's suspended, so he shouldn't have been driving, but
I guess he just has access to cars.
right, and I guess killing a guy doesn't constitute stopping doing drugs or drinking alcohol or whatever it is that
Drinking
you're
and
doing.
driving.
Yeah.
Well, I think that guy wins award for douchebag of the year, right?
Douchebag of the year.
Douchebag of the year, guy that drives drunk and
And actually, a guy did that to me on ERAS Land. Well, I don't know if it was a guy, but somebody did that to me on ERAS Landry
Where
just
they
a
went
couple
in the
days
turn
ago.
lane?
They sped past me, drove in the turn lane, and they were speeding.
people have lost their minds.
And I know Lafayette is bad about drivers. I'm not the best in the world, but I mean, come on. You killed a guy.
Come on. Ugh.
Oh my God.
So, is he arrested again? And hopefully this time
Hopefully
not
not getting out. Yeah, he's being held without bond right now.
Yikes.
So thank God. That's what should have happened the first time.
You know.
But
Um. Speaking of the suicide thing, you mentioned the guy committing suicide. Suicide rate is the highest it's ever been in 40 years with teen girls. Why do you think
Really?
that is?
Maybe self-image problems, perhaps.
Maybe not getting likes on your Facebook and your Instagram.
Yep, that's where all kids' self-worth comes from nowadays. I mean,
It's like
kids
you're not
always
measured by like how many real friends you have, but how many
Right.
friends you have on your Facebook.
right, and you're also, girls. I mean, it's always been a problem amongst women comparing themselves to what the standard,
The status quo.
yeah, the standard of beauty
models
is.
and yeah.
And so, but
I just have
now
a
it's at
different standard of beauty than the mainstream media. I don't
most
know.
people do.
Yeah,
Most
it's
men
like-
do, but
yeah.
it's
There's this
it's
perception, I
yeah,
guess.
and when you're
and dumb people buy
constantly-
into it.
when you're constantly barraged with what you should look like and what's good, and you know, it puts you down.
Well, there was a study done that basically showed that the lower socioeconomic status you were is the bigger you like your women. You know, 'cause
Really?
it just shows that you know, you're healthy. So,
Yeah.
I mean, and it's like, hey, that woman can feed me.
Well, I mean, you know, let's go back a couple hundred years, women were, you know, as far as today's standards go, women
Even the
were chunky.
models.
Yeah, you know, women were bigger, and
See
it was
if I get a-
considered beautiful. Marilyn Monroe was a size 12, you know,
Okay,
and
I'm
that was
getting a
back in the
message here.
50s. A
And
message.
we might not be having sound.
Okay.
Let's see.
But yeah, that doesn't surprise me at all, that women are having issues with their bodies, and it's among teen girls.
The
So-
volume is low. It doesn't get louder with remote. I turn the little knob on my surround sound speakers, but then they're static.
Oh, well, good. You tried the surround sound. You tried our suggestion. Sorry, y'all. Sorry.
Oh, well, move the mic up, I guess.
We'll just do this for the rest of the show. So,
So.
self-image.
Oh, wait. I gotta move the phone.
There we go. Is this better?
We're gonna talk really loud into the microphone.
Maybe move this. I don't know if that has anything to do with it.
Yeah, maybe not.
Actually, I'm sure someone did that back to you.
Yeah. What are you doing? Taking my phone, man. Let's see. Another study shows that marijuana is replacing many pharmaceutical, or at least people are choosing to replace their pharmaceutical or prescription drugs with marijuana.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. I hate drugs, like prescribed drugs.
Drugs are bad, okay?
Drugs are bad. You know, it kills more people. Marijuana's never killed anybody.
No.
And it's becoming an epidemic across the world, especially in the United States. So good. I'm glad people are figuring that out. So
Hey, Shai.
yeah, we got some other people.
Saying
telling us to-
volume is low. It doesn't get louder with the remote. The the little knob on my surround sound speaker, but then there's static. So basically, we've had several people tell us that it's low. I don't know.
Shahid, y'all.
Yeah, fight the power. We gotta fight the powers that be. You know what I mean, Shahid?
Okay.
Yeah, awkward.
So, moving on.
How about another study?
Studies. I like them.
Moderate to heavy drinkers are less likely to get dementia. How about that?
Really?
Yeah.
But it causes temporary dementia, if you know what I mean.
Temporary. You know, I have a little dementia right now.
Maybe
you know
not
what
long
I mean?
term. That'll be discounted in about a month.
Helped
you know?
a little? Helped a little? Huh?
All right.
So I think
what
that's
you
the
wanna
end
say
of the
about that?
studies.
Okay.
Oh, well, less dementia. Yeah, I mean. I don't know. Like I said, got a little dementia
Well,
right now.
I have a family member who got diagnosed with dementia and never drank a drop in his life, so maybe
They said it helped a little bit.
helped a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we move our phone back this way.
All right.
Yeah. More studies. No, more studies. Okay, what you got?
Oh.
Something about I-10?
Oh, yeah. Okay. So the Department of Transportation discusses replacing I-10 bridge in Lake Charles. Finally. I think this thing has been on the about to
That's
collapse
better.
bridge list for a while. So I go over that bridge every month, just about, and pretty scared. You can see kind of gaps in the bridge. It was built a long time ago. It's about time, you
Right.
know. And it's really scary when you're going around rush hour and you're stuck on it. So thank God.
Yeah,
God.
I'm not a big fan of that bridge or
Yeah.
Lake Charles in general. So
Or Lake Charles in general.
yeah.
I wouldn't want to. Yeah.
I try not to go
Sorry,
too far west. Like once you get out of like maybe like rain, you know, it's like you really
Yeah, about the same.
about the same. You're about in Texas. Yeah.
Okay.
Anyways.
All right, so of course I've had school on the brain because I'm a teacher, and so I saw today that there was a survey that there is a major disconnect between how parents think their kids are performing in school versus how they actually are performing in school. So do you think parents think their kids are performing better or worse than they actually are?
Probably worse.
Nope, they think they're performing better. 9 out of 10 parents think that.
Well,
thought
yeah,
that-
they're probably. I meant they probably are performing worse
They
than
are.
what their parents
Yeah.
think.
Yeah, and I wonder why that is. Why is there
We're
such a disconnect?
delusional. It's a cultural thing. We're delusional. You know, it's like everybody
parents
gets a
are-
trophy.
Yeah.
You know, I don't want to hurt my kid's feelings. Like, why did my kid get an F? You know, like, because your kid didn't study and he sleeps every day during class.
Right,
You know,
exactly.
so it's just like
Kids not telling their parents,
everybody's
first
playing
of
the
all, what's
victim.
going on in school.
it's
you know?
external attribution. Basically, the fault of what happened is like your fault, your fault, your fault.
Yeah, blaming
instead
everyone else.
of
Yeah.
internal attribution, like what did I do wrong? You know, and everybody's got external attribution. They don't want to take accountability for anything that they do.
Absolutely, and that's across the board. And also, I mean, I have a teenager who sometimes doesn't tell me everything that's going on in school, you know, but then that's where being an active parent comes in hand, you know, like calling your students' teachers, letting, you know, just asking about it more, being involved in homework, you
That's
know,
all it takes.
which is hard. That's hard to do, but
Yeah, but when you're not selfish and you know, like you can like actually care about somebody other than yourself.
Right,
You know?
yeah.
I mean, like your kid.
Yeah.
That's a good thing.
so
So, but some people can have no choice but to be selfish because they got to pay bills and put food on the table.
Absolutely,
and they're
yeah. I
maybe
mean, there's those
single family
exceptions.
household, you know.
There's
so we
those
get it. We get it.
exceptions.
You know.
Yeah.
Always exceptions.
And you
to
want to
the-
believe the best about your child, even though some of y'all's kids are bad.
Some of your kids.
Bad.
Oh, they suck. Yeah. Sorry. But some of them are really awesome, though. You did a good job. What you got to say about NASA? I have something to say about NASA because, well, it's not really about NASA, but there's a solar eclipse next week.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
Okay.
or August 21st.
Can't look directly at it. Got to look through the pinhole cardboard box thing.
Apparently,
Yeah. I have looked directly at a solar eclipse before.
And is that why you're wearing glasses
Yes.
now? Okay.
Actually, I don't know, but yes.
Uh,
That was back in elementary school, and I was a daredevil.
okay.
Okay.
So I think we need to push the mic back now.
Oh,
Because-
come on, people.
Because
we're up, we're
feeding
down.
back a little bit, or there's static whenever we get too loud.
Love
maybe.
y'all, though.
But yeah,
It's
come
probably
on.
me. I'm loud.
Oh, choosy. No, I get pretty loud too.
Yeah.
That's why they usually put the mic like over there.
Okay.
So yeah, that's happening.
All right. Also, so on the NASA note, they are looking to hire a planetary protection officer, and the job of this person is to protect Earth from harmful aliens. That was the article title. Of course, draw you in. I clicked on it. But really what it is that it's someone to protect the Earth from organic constituent and biological contamination. So any organic material being like present on a spaceship, I guess they got to wash
I think
that
they
off.
have a movie about that out right now, and it's got Ryan Reynolds and Jake Gyllenhaal or whatever, and they're astronauts, and there's like life, like and it's like some microscopic kind of thing that
It's
forms.
life though, yeah.
Yeah, and it forms, and then it's like can think, and it kills you and stuff. And, So, yeah.
Well, they're going to pay this person $124,000 to $187,000 a year. So
Could it be that, maybe Nibiru is coming? The rotation of the planet, and that they say goes
You would
around
like to think so,
every
yes.
3,600 years. A lot of people say that's already visible in the southern sky,
to the eye, to the naked eye.
Oh yeah, I've read that you can see it from Antarctica, and that's like why people can't go there.
Not because it's frigidly cold and you wouldn't be able to live there, but because you can see Nibiru.
Yeah, well, it might be coming. You never know. There have been increased UFO sightings.
So when is the 3,600-year period coming round?
Well, apparently it was like maybe a 3,750-year cycle, and we've done the 3,600 years. So,
Oh.
I mean, it would
Not in our
the
lifetime.
planet wouldn't be visible, to our planet, but just the fact that we know it's coming.
Okay.
Yeah, so interesting, and like a lot of ancient texts, like the Book of Enoch, and there are countless others of these old Sumerian texts, and things that were, I guess brought to the
about it.
council to be put in the Bible, but eventually were kept out of the Bible. So interesting stories.
Yeah.
Were aliens just angels?
Or that's what
or
we
the other way
call
around?
them, yeah.
Yeah.
Angels, just aliens.
Angels, aliens.
After all,
coming from the heavens.
we only read a version
Who knows?
of the Bible.
So, and that's the best answer when it comes to answering religious questions. Who knows?
Nobody.
I don't.
Nobody knows.
Nobody. So does that?
That's all I got.
That's all you have, and we have about 10 minutes. So we're gonna finish the show with some good lists.
Oh,
you
I
know
like
how
the
we
list.
like our lists.
It's list time.
So, a couple lists to go over tonight. We've got 5 steps to overcome negative thinking.
I thought we did that already.
We talked about it at your house.
Oh,
we were going to do it
okay.
on the show last week.
All right, okay.
Let's see. We've also got what happens to the body when there is no sex.
Let's do that one.
We also have, instead of the 10 commandments, we have the Zen commandments.
Oh, that
Okay.
kind of goes with the erasing the negative thought, right?
A little bit, yeah, a little bit.
To be Zen.
And 5 signs of an evil heart.
Oh, do that one. Do that one.
Okay, 5 signs of an evil heart.
Of an evil heart. Okay.
Ooh, so many evil people out there. Let's see, where I lost my spot. Oh, here we go. They tend to create confusion, chaos, and conflict. They twist facts, mislead
That's
you.
those people that like
They
drama,
lie.
y'all.
They don't
Watch
take
out for them.
responsibility for their actions. We were just talking about
Yep,
that. They withhold information from people. So
Or
they're just
contort
shady pretty
information.
much.
Yep.
Okay, another sign is that they fool us with flattery.
See, I know that. That's a freaking disguise.
All right.
That is a freaking disguise.
And they're all nice and flattering and romantic in
Yep.
the beginning or whatever,
Yep.
and then all of a sudden, like,
I know people's like that. And it's hard to, I mean, just so much, there's, when you only know some person for a short amount of time and you're giving them all these compliments and all that, I mean, that's just not right. There's an ulterior motive there. Even if it's subconscious for them, there's something weird going on there.
right, and eventually all that tallies off.
Absolutely.
And
Yep.
it's really just kind of meant to control you and manipulate.
Absolutely, to get you closer, to seem as if you're a friend, and then just meh.
Take advantage of you
Yep.
in whatever way it is. Let's see. Oh, well, here you go. Number 3, they want to control others. Their authority is their ego.
Yeah.
So basically, they're guided by their ego. And this one goes right on with the other ones. They mislead good people. They want warmth and forgiveness from people, but they don't offer it to others.
Yep. Play the victim,
Yep.
always making you feel like crap for something that maybe wasn't that bad, and even if you apologize, not good enough.
Sure, and they want to be forgiven, you know, whenever
They
they
want to
do
be
wrong.
forgiven. Yeah.
But the thing is, I would imagine most of these people are narcissistic, and you know they don't think they're ever wrong.
Right. Yeah.
And the last one is that they tend to have no conscience or remorse for doing the bad things that they do.
And that's the scary part. That's the real psychos out there. Just no remorse and hurting other people.
Right, treating people like garbage,
Right.
and then not feeling bad about it at all.
Right.
You know.
Yeah. Which how could you
Or
not? I
hurting
just don't
somebody's
understand that.
feelings or something.
Right.
Or, I don't know, whatever it may be. You
Yeah.
know, and you're called out on it. So
So if you got any of those signs, you probably wouldn't admit it because you have an evil heart. But if you know anybody with those signs, better watch out.
you better watch out. Let's see. Should we do 5 steps of negative to overcome negative thinking?
Sure.
Okay, step 1, face your attachments and release them. Okay, so the desire for importance, the control over other people, for your possessions, over your body. You know, so all the earthly stuff, just release it.
Okay.
And just all the stuff you're attached to.
Yeah. Whether it's physical or mental ideas.
Sure. All
Mm-hmm.
the things we cling to.
Yeah, every time we
Or
do
that our
lists
spirit
like
clings
this,
to.
I always end up saying over and over again, yeah, that's easier said than done.
Always
You know?
easier said, but that's the ideal. You know, it's
Yeah.
something to work toward.
Yeah. I feel like I'd have to live in isolation to forget
Well,
about all that stuff, you know?
Yeah, I can. And I think that's what a lot of Buddhist monks do.
Absolutely.
Sure.
Yep. That's what popped into my head when I
Yeah.
was thinking about it. You lucky guys.
So to get through that list, because we've only got about 5, 6 minutes, and we got a couple more lists here. Let's see. Go through worry fast. So basically, don't worry. There's no benefit to it if you can't fix it. See, surround yourself with
Really?
joyful people. I'd say that's very important.
Absolutely.
Because
yes.
energy is contagious.
That is easy to do. That one
That one's
is
the
easy to
easiest.
do. Exactly.
Act from the heart. Don't let noise cloud your intuition.
Mm-hmm.
Breathe. If your heart is quiet, there will be no fear. And then last but not least, take control over your mind. And I think that,
Oh.
I think that goes right on with the Zen commandments.
Okay.
So to kind of get through the Zen commandments, and we'll close with what happens to your body with no sex. Let's see.
The good stuff.
Zen commandments here. Take care, stay aware, and pay attention.
Okay.
Number 2, awaken your mind, open your heart, energize yourself, see clear, and love generously. All good
All fine and
advice,
dandy.
yes. Let's see, live your own spiritual experience. Develop your spiritual life, not just the experience, you know, or just that one moment of spiritual experience. Like you let your entire life be a spiritual experience.
Okay.
So easier said than done.
Yeah.
Don't let others. Mind your mind, basically. Like, don't let other people control your own mind.
Yeah. Evil-hearted
Evil-hearted people. Freedom is a process. It's progress, not perfection. Let's see. Accept, let go, let be, allow
Do you
things
think
to happen.
that having all of these lists out there as far as like, do this to be happy, do this to have no negative thoughts, do this, like, to me, that's stressful, you know, like, that makes me worry even worse, like, oh, crap, I'm not letting go of this negative thought that I'm having, you know?
Well, that's a good point. That's a
Yeah.
good point, you know.
Like, I know when I haven't been on Facebook for a really long time, but when I was on Facebook every day, multiple times
Sure.
a day, I saw that I was getting depressed just by reading all of these crazy little
they got a ton
10
of lists.
signs for this. Here's what you do
Number
if
8,
this
you'll never
happens.
believe. Or
So exactly. So
Right.
you know, I become myself. Being an introspective person. I start thinking, oh crap, I don't do that. I must be a bad person, you know, or I must be this or that. That
As it just said, it's, you know, it's a process and progress, not perfection. You know, I mean,
Right.
like, we aren't perfect people, but, you know, just like knowing at least, you know, gives you something to work toward. And you might not necessarily be that now, but at least it does give you like something like that's an ideal to work
I
toward.
see all the lists, and I don't see any really conceivable, achievable way of getting there besides little bullet points, you know?
Well, sure,
I don't
sure. And I mean, like a lot of it, well, that at least we talk about on this show, tend to be like the Buddhist philosophies,
Right.
like in ways to find Zen. You know, and that is definitely a process in itself. Most like regular, like everyday people can't necessarily do that. They don't even know how to meditate. Or
Right, I don't.
or
Yeah.
or do any of that stuff, or to be introspective, or any of that. So I mean, it's something that definitely has to be worked toward. It's a spiritual journey, and but yeah, I definitely hear what you're saying.
Yeah.
And with that, I say we close out with one more list.
Oh, the sexy list, or the
What
not so
happens
sexy
to your
list.
body with no sex?
No good things, people.
No good things,
No
because
good things.
sex is very healthy and ensures good mood. So it helps you
Ensures
physically and
good
psychologically.
mood. It does help you physically.
So what it does, you don't get sick as much. We'll change it to where it's more positive. You don't get sick as much. You're
So so you change the list to what happens when you do have a lot of sex.
basically.
Okay, all right, cool.
Your stress levels will go down. Mm-hmm. It'll be easier to get aroused the next time you have sex for guys,
Dang,
especially.
old dang. See,
Yeah.
you would think it would be opposite, but I guess the whole
Well, I think even for both, but it says especially guys.
Yeah. Okay.
Let's see. Your dreams will change. Let's see.
Your dreams will change, and from
Well, I guess when you don't have sex, you dream more about sex.
okay, so it allows your mind to dream about other things. Okay,
Maybe,
to think
yeah, I
about
guess
other
so.
things. makes
Let's
sense,
see.
I guess.
If you don't have sex, you're going to lose your desire to have sex over time, because over time your sex hormones will vanish.
Okay, because
So
they
you
know
wanna-
that your body obviously does not
yeah, you
need
wanna
this
keep
anymore.
them going. You want to keep
Okay.
them going.
You see the time?
Yeah, I do. Holy moly, and time is about running out. I don't know if that's the right time, but I'm a native. This is Holly Higher Thought.
Y'all hear the beeper?
Yeah, I mean, it's still, oh, yeah, we might be off now.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
Well, that was interesting.
Yeah. Well,
We did well with
technical difficulties throughout the show, yes.
yeah. Well, I hope the guy who called in and kind of sounded aggravated about it kept listening.
Well, it's like, what could we really do about it?
Yeah. Oh, I got you.
Oh, it's locked?
Look at me, it's still.
I didn't know it was locked.
They left the key. Wow, man. Jacob does this in like 2 minutes, man. It takes me like 15.
Yeah. So when they were running over, it was
Yes.
running into your crunch time.
And they did that last time, too, where they took their sweet-ass time getting up out of that chair. And
Finish the show, pick yourself up, and go.
Yes.
very
dude, last
soft
time
day.
she was still in the air when me and Chris were, like, the old lady. Like, she like, took her time, and she would move as slow as she possibly could.
While
And
you
then
Mm-hmm.
and Chris doing the
while
show.
we were like about to sit down, like she was still like on the air, like right here, like standing here, and just moving about an inch at
You have to see the difference.
a snail's pace.
For what?
You need to get all. I wrote one note.
Oh, I
that
saw you showing them the note. Yeah, I
said-
did.
That was like the fourth one. You said.
God. Yeah, like we have a live show at 6. I saw that
Right.
one. Dang, oh dang.